On your book's website, it says the book shows a tortured soul who felt things so deeply and used writing as an outlet to maintain their sanity.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Welcome to Ally on the Rise. This is all about people who are chasing their dreams. And today I'm with a poet and author. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Emma Dizenwe, and I'm the author of the newly released poetry collection called Soul of a Rising Phoenix. And I'm from Long Island, New York.
Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, everybody tuned in. We got the book right here, Soul of a Rising Phoenix. Yo, guys, go pick up the book. I have not bought a book in quite a while, and I was very happy with purchasing this. This was like a wild ride for me. It's all poems. It's like 62 pages. Go check out the book. All right, I'll put the website down below so people could just get it. You know what I mean? Let's jump into the title. So, Soul of a Rising Phoenix. You say you must burn to rise. So, what does that mean?
So that's pretty much the book is a physical representation of the things that I felt, held me back in the past, into my greatness. Cause I always wanted to release a poetry book, but I was always too scared to do it, imposter syndrome, not believing that I should. I'm like, who am I to release a book, an author? Like, that self-doubt. And I always resonated with the phoenix, which is a mythological bird, and where it burns itself and then it's reborn again. And it's also part of my zodiac sign, which actually makes sense. So it's pretty awesome. That's why I went with Soul of a Rising Phoenix. And it's just me releasing to the world my story, my experiences, and maybe, someone else can relate to it as well.
On your book's website, it says the book shows a tortured soul who felt things so deeply and used writing as an outlet to maintain their sanity.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. The book starts with I have poems that I've written since I was 12, well into my adulthood. And I was going through it when I was younger. I was just like, no one gets me. I'm all alone. And I always felt that struggle. And that's why I went turned into writing. I'm a creative. So writing, drawing, painting, playing music, I needed some type of outlet. And so, although I do all those outlets as well, but poetry, you just saying it seemed to resonate with me a little bit more. And that's why I pick writing instead.
Well, I'm really glad you said that because it shows like there are healthy alternatives to help us get through our problems. You don't have to fucking get high and drunk or whatever it is because it's like a lot of people turn to like a negative thing, and it's good that
Hmm.
like you kind of used it because like that was pretty heavy. Like you said, tortured soul. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was like an angry teenager. I really was. And it's like you would never know it because I internalize everything. I keep everything. So it's like the iceberg. You see the tip of the iceberg, but you have no idea what's going on under it. So yeah, I felt like I was tortured and like with my emotions because I felt things really deeply. Now I'm pretty like more balanced out, but back then it's like it's the end of the world for me, but it really wasn't, and I knew it wasn't, but like what are you gonna tell my emotions? So I just wrote it out just to help me make sense of it, and it helped, definitely did. It was like my journal of some sort.
it's really cool how it's like from a young age to now, and like you're really sharing like because when you were writing these poems, like did you have in mind like one day I want people to read this, or were you just did it for you?
Yes and no. I always knew I went to do a book. I had it like typed out. I wrote it in my book notebook and I typed it out and I put it all in a binder, and but I never actually did the book for years. So I knew I wanted to, but I never like actually verbalized it until up until last year. Last year I said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You know, the pandemic, I say, definitely took a toll on a lot of people and in their psyche and, you know, what they think, how they feel. And so I felt that, well, if I'm going to die, I might as well just put this book out. I mean, it, I, I don't know. I still have breath in my body, and I take that so seriously because a lot of people didn't have the opportunity. And so I said, well, if it sucks, it sucks. If it does well, good, you know? And I'm like, if they like it, great. If they don't, they don't. I had to really like get myself over that hump in thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. But I'm like, you know what? Yes, I can. Why not? Why can't I? And so I went to an open mic and I saw poets and I was talking to them. They were like 3, 4 time authors. I got inspired by seeing them. I'm like, okay, they could do it. I could do it too. What's stopping me? Nothing. Me. I was stopping me.
Mhm.
And I decided to push through, even though I do get like nervous, but I have to get comfortable being uncomfortable to get to the places that I know I want to be and where I should be. So that's where I'm headed.
Whoa. I hope you were watching this and taking notes. That was so powerful what you said. No, it's right. Like that's a big theme in this too, is like getting out of your comfort zone and like living life fully. Because basically what you were saying is like you got past people's judgment. Why can't I be an author? Why can't I share this? Why can't I do it?
I guess it's the fear of like rejection, but then when you break it down, it's like, okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? No one likes it. No one buys it. So I had to be okay with, and honestly, when I did release it, I had no intentions of, you know, doing interviews, doing that, none. My point was just, I was resolved with myself. I said, you know what? I'll do the book. It's a hey, friends and family, nothing big. And then I was just talking to the other authors that I've came across, other poets, and I just got like their insight. And they said, well, he's gonna do the book. They regret not promoting themselves, not putting themselves out there, not doing this. And I said, oh, maybe I should do this. Okay, then I just did it. And things just naturally just started to gravitate towards me and fall into alignment. And I welcomed it with open hands, even though I'm nervous about it, but I'm still welcoming it with everything that I can.
I seen you on a podcast and you said public speaking is the second fear most people have.
No, it's the first.
I thought you said
No,
death was the first.
no. Public speaking is the first. Death is second.
I screw that up completely. Why do you feel like public speaking is such a big fear for a majority of people?
Because I don't know, I think it's a lot of times people don't like to be center of attention. They don't like the center of attention and where all eyes are focused on them. And then it just brings an awareness of people are looking at you. They're listening to what you have to say. What if you say, you know, it's like you start to get in your head. And I think it's, yeah, I really think it's just in your head and where you're thinking of so many scenarios of what other people could be thinking. And then which makes people choke. They're like, oh no, I don't know what do I say? What if I say this wrong? What if I embarrass myself? You know, you're in the eye of the public, and people are scared of talking because it could be a scary thing, if especially if you don't know what you're saying, what you're supposed to, how you dress. Um, if you said something the way you want, you thought it sound good in your head, but it may come off the wrong way. It's just a lot of variables when it comes to public speaking. And there's a way that, you know, what if you don't connect with your audience too? You know, it's meant to go this way, but it went that way. So there's a lot of variables when it comes to public speaking that a lot of people are afraid of. And that's understandable. It's very understandable, especially if you get negative feedback. I think a lot of times people think that someone's going to throw a tomato at them. That hasn't happened to me, which I'm okay with that. Knock on wood. Or you know, maybe get dirty looks. Probably depends.
So that's super interesting. Like the fact that it's like the number one fear after death. That's mind
Yeah,
blowing. But it's like I kind of have my own theory on it, but like I think people are just not comfortable with themselves.
Oh,
Do you know
that
what I
too.
mean? Because it's like I just kind of like I even misquoted like what you said. It's like I'm gonna keep that in the video. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm a person. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes it does go left. But like I'm comfortable to the point to where it's like you could be like, "Oh, he screwed it up." It's like I did, but like you never screwed anything up. Like I don't care.
Mm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no,
So
that
it's like,
makes perfect sense. That's a good view about that, you know. And
mhm.
you're right. You're absolutely right. I always say you don't have to be smart to do, be rich. You don't have to, you don't have to be a brainiac to be a millionaire. Because I've done training, I do CPR, and sometimes I mess up. I'm like, hey, and I always joke around, I'm like, well, doesn't take much for me to be a CPR instructor. You could do it too. So it's just one of those things. But yeah, comfortability, that's the big thing. Yeah.
You know, it's like worried about making a mistake when we're in a world full of people and we all make mistakes.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. But it's like, you know what? You do have like the perfectionist person, like, I'm gonna give this presentation. Like, I need to make sure. Like, I get it, but it's like,
Mhm.
who cares if you fumble a little bit? Whatever. I
You're
don't know.
right.
That's just me.
I agree totally.
I want to jump into some specific poems that I read that stood out to me.
Okay.
All right. So there's a poem called I Need You. You already know. You already know. The first line is I need you to fuck me mentally. What does that mean?
Well, as a woman, I can speak for myself, but they always say that when it comes to sex, it starts mentally for us. Men are more on the physical part, and for me, it works mentally. Start, playing with my mind. Start, it could be something simple, a text here or there, a whisper there. It could be, anything that revs up my psyche. Go for it. Start there. That's pretty much it. Start there. Then you can work into the other, the other stuff.
So do you feel like nowadays like that's missing with like intimacy or attraction or like I don't know if you like been dating, I don't know what your status is, but like you think that's like guys are just rushing to it?
Well, I've in my past experience, yes. Dudes, they rush. I'm like, dude, take your time. I didn't know we was in a race. Okay, we're sprinting now. Okay. I'm like, dude, slow down, slow down. It's not a race. And a lot of times I feel that um I'm a giver. So, but you don't always have a partner that gives too. So a lot of guys that I've dated in the past, they're takers. And so if you're taking, you're not giving. So both tanks have to be full. So I'm like, yo, I need you to run it down. My love language, I need you is words of affirmation. So I need to hear, I fall in love in between my ears. If you want to get me riled up, it's in between my ears, start there.
Another poem, Weak-Minded Females.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So what I took from this poem, you can love people, but don't be a hoe.
I love your interpretation. Well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't think of it that way, but yeah.
Is there any more we need to elaborate on, or is
No,
that the
that's pretty
message?
much, no, you hit it right there. I mean, like, I know, like, in my past, in the friends in the circle that I've hung out with, it's like, yeah, you could do you, but there's a way to do you. Have a little bit more respect. Don't fall for anything that they're saying, the sweet nothings that they're whispering in your ear. I'm like, come on, have a little bit more, pride in yourself. Don't spread it open for just anybody. That's pretty much what it is, okay?
Has anyone like given like any like backlash or like, hey, like I read that wasn't cool or like
No, no.
really?
No, even because like the way it ended, it's really more so like a warning to like women. Hey, ladies, we could do better. open your eyes to what's, what these guys are typically, trying to do. Not all men. I'm not a man hater. Okay, let's put that out there. I love my guys, but there's some guys they don't have the best intentions for you. So you got to be mindful of that. And a lot of girls, they want to give their hearts, but they're giving it to anybody who's willing to take it. And that's, you got to, protect yourself. And so I was angry when I wrote that. It was one of my friends too. I'm like, why do you? And it was like, it was mind boggling, the situation she would be in with these guys. Actually, it was two of my friends. I'm like, why? And I was I in high school? Probably freshman, college, high school, that transition. I'm like, why you let these guys play you? And so that's where I was. And any negative feedback, no, which I'm happy, but I do, when they hear the title, they're like, oh, I get that reaction. And I even I did a women's empowerment event, and where I actually read that poem. I read it out loud, and it was one of those things that I felt, yes, it's all women empowerment, encouraging us, but we need to be held accountable for our actions too. Because I always, and I always say it's always not, I'm not pointing fingers, because this is my book, my experiences as well. So I know that at one point that I was probably a weak-minded female myself, So if I'm talking to you, I'm talking about me too. So, but yeah, I definitely, believe in accountability in how you protect your yoni. Yes.
Another thing that stood out to me. So towards the end of the book, it says, Emma is a firm believer that if your dreams aren't intimidating to you, chances are it's insulting God.
Yes, that's not my quote. Who is it? Stephen, forgot his last name, something with the F. That's his quote, and I adopted it for my own. It resonates with me because it just tells me, hey, your dreams should scare you. Don't forget about anybody else's. If it doesn't intimidate you, you gotta dream bigger. Because not to push anyone's, not to push my beliefs on anybody, believe who you want to believe, but I am a believer, of God. And if he is supposed to be who he is supposed to be, I should be able to manifest everything that I want, and I should be able to get it as well. And I shouldn't have that self-limiting beliefs if I believe in a God that is powerful. So that is my take on that. So that also serves as a guideline for me not to sell myself short, because I've done that in where I'll set a goal just right under, just so I'll hit it, and that'll be it. But knowing I should have gone a little bit higher, but I was just like too scared to do anything. So I just went just a little bit and staying within my comfort zone. And that also reminds me to push myself beyond that.
There is profanity in this book.
Yes.
And now I'm a firm believer, express yourself how you want to express yourself. I'm all for that. But is there you recommend an age limit for this?
18.
Okay.
18. I know I had my nieces and my nephews. My nephew, one of them was like, oh, hey Tati, can I read your book? I said, no. You're a little 15-year-old. No, come back to me when you're 18. Yeah, no, there's no way I'm letting kids who are underage. No.
A fun fact, you have 9 brothers and sisters.
Oh yeah.
What was it like, all of you getting ready for school in the morning?
We've never lived under one roof, thank God. No, usually, but it used to be, I remember 6 of us, we all lived together. Normal.
No fights over the bathroom and shit like that.
That's normal.
That's normal. Was it chaotic? So you and 5 other siblings, what was that like?
Cramped. It was cramped, loud, but I'm used to it. I'd understand if someone was, only used to a only child and they get into that environment and that's something to, be adjusted to. But living with my siblings, it's just fine. It just, we all cool. We had to work out scheduling, management, and you stole my clothes. That's mine. A lot, the typical, siblings, arguments, and we used to have fun sneaking out. Don't tell mom I went out. Hide. I used to make like body pillows just to make pretend they're sleeping. That was so fun. I just sneak my siblings into a window after they came from a party. It's just been a ball. So I'm been used to that all my life. So yeah, it's just been fun.
I super appreciate you doing this. I think it was a lot of fun. Let everybody know where they can follow you and buy the book. Guys, buy the book.
You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. My name is Emma Delzame. It's Desulme, Emma Delzame. Or you can find me also on Soul of a Rising Phoenix, which is the name of my book. You can find my book on Amazon and on my website. So get my book, What He Said. Soul of a Rising Phoenix.
Go check it out. The link for the book will be right down below. So check it out, read it, support. I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that we had this.
Yeah, definitely one of the funnest episodes for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.